All of you, hope you guys are great. So many of you are struggling in the voting tab we had created. So in this video I'll show you that how you can fix the error which you are facing in decentralized voting tab. So here I'm on my GitHub repo and I'll click on this repository and I'm look for the voting tab. So I'll type voting, and this is the two repository we have for the project. So this one is the starter file and this one is the complete project. So I believe that most of you will have this complete project. So click on this, and now what I will do, I'm going to simply clone this project. So clone, take the URL, or you can do it from here, copy the repository link and come back to the Visual Code Studio. So I'm going to do this one. I'll open my term VS Code editor and I'm going to simply click on this open, come to the desktop, and here I'm going to create a new folder right on my desktop. So I'll say clone voting, I'll say create, and that's what I'm going to select here. So this is the repository I have. Open up your terminal and I'm going to clone this repo. So I'll say git clone and paste it, and I'm going to give this slash, so it will be in the same directory, and see that we are cloning the repo. So our repository is a little big, so it will take a little bit time, and here you can see that we have this entire code. So let's type this clear, and you can see we have all the assets, we have the components, we have the context, we have the contract pages, everything's working fine. So the very first thing I have to do is I have to install the packages we have here. So all of these packages we're going to install: OpenZeppelin, XCS, Dove, environment, IPFS. So let's do that very quickly. See, I type npmi, and this will install all the dependency which we are utilizing in this project. So this will take a little bit time, but I'm using the power of editing, so it will happen very quickly for me. Finally, we have installed all the packages, all the dependency. Clear your terminal, and here we have that. So now I'm going to split this and I'm going to run my local blockchain. So let me check the hard hat config file. So here you can see that. So this is the chain ID we have given to our network. So first thing I have to do is I'll simply come here, I'll select each one of this, and I'm going to test it locally. So I'm going to simply select this one. I'm going to make it, just wait, select this one and comment out this. I'm testing locally, but if you're using any network, so you can simply provide the network RPC URL, and if you are providing the chain ID, so make sure you have to configure your chain ID in your MetaMask, but here we are not configuring the chain ID. So these are the setup we have to do. So we are deploying the contract to our local host. So now we have to run the local blockchain. So to run that, we have to type npx hardhat node. This will initialize the local blockchain in our terminal. So you can see we got 20+ account, and now we have to deploy the contract. So we have the contract and we have to create the artifact. So let me find the command. So I'll go up and try to look. So this is the deploy script I have: npx hardhat run network localhost script deploy. If you come back to the script, this is the exact script we have, and this is the contract we are trying to deploy. So let's come here in the contract and let's have a look. So this is the name we have given to our contract, and it's absolutely fine. So click on this, hit enter, and this will deploy the contract. So this will take a little bit of time, so it's deploying. And here you can see we have installed the compiler version, and this is the address of the contract. So simply grab that one, and we have to come back into the context. Inside the context we have this constants, and here we have to provide the address of the contract. So simply provide, paste here, and this is the address we have here. Now I'm going to delete this JSON file, and once you deploy the contract, you will have this artifact folder. Inside the contract you will have this create JSON. You have to drag and drop and leave it here. So now we are set for the environment, and now we can start testing this out. So if I start the application, I'll type npm run and dev. So if I start, I'll get an error. I'll show you that what is the problem we are having in this project. So let's come here, I'll open this one and I'll click on this localhost and just wait. So here you can see everything's working fine. It says that please install MetaMask and connect and reload. So everything's working fine. So first thing we have to do is to connect our MetaMask. Click on this connect wallet. So here we have the MetaMask, and now we have to simply provide our credential to connect with the wallet. So just wait. I don't know why it takes a little bit time when I open any application, any my Dapp project. It takes always time. So let me cut this one and let me write my credential. I say, and that's my credential. I'll click on unlock, and here you can see that we are logged into the applications and everything's working fine. Let's come here. First thing we have to do is come back to the account number 2, because this is the account we have used for deploying our contracts. That's why you can see that we have little less amount here. And now we have to simply do one thing: click on the settings, go to the advanced, and we have to clear all the history, because whenever you change your account you have to clear your history, otherwise your transaction will fail. So click on this reset, and now we are set for testing and creating that. So here you can see, click on this, and now we have to do is, first we have to register the candidates. So the moment I will register, I'll get an error. So let me show you, let me show you what I mean by that. So let me open this console, and right now you can see everything's working fine, everything's working fine. So what I will do, I'll click on this and it will open up my document folder, and if I try to upload an image, I'll get an error. And you can see, just wait, and right now we are getting this error, that, and here you can see that we are getting this error message that post request IPFS Infura 401, because earlier Infura allowed us to use the global endpoint for uploading the NFTs, uploading the images to the IPFS, but now you have to create your own credential to use Infura in your project, and because of this most of you are getting an error. So that's the problem we are having. You can see that we are getting unauthorized error message, and we can't able to upload the image to the IPFS. So now what I have to do is come here, come back to the terminal, and here we have to do the changes. So come back to the context. In here, this is the voter, and here we have to do the changes. So let me make it full screen, so right now you can see that earlier when I built this project, at that time this was the global endpoint for uploading data to the IPFS, and we got this endpoint from Infura. But right now this global endpoint is not working. You have to get your own credential. To upload the data to the IPFS, so which I have already explained in detail in the NFT marketplace project video. So I believe that most of you have not watched that, so I'll link in the I button in the description so you guys can watch. And that I have explained that how you can create your IPFS and how you can do the configuration. But in this, let me show you how you can do that. So first we have to do the changes in the code. So earlier we used this clients and we straight away upload the data to the IPFS, but now we have to do a little bit configuration here. So now what I will do, I'll going to simply minimize that one, and I'm going to open the project. So I have already done that, so I'm not going to write the same code over again. So here I have all the projects, so let me find out which one it is. So this one is the voting one, and let me go to the context. This is the context, this is the voter.js, and let's open this one. And now we have to do the changes here. So let's open, it's opened here. So these are the configuration you have to do. Simply grab this entire piece of code. I'll grab that one, and I'll come back to my VS Code Studio, and here I'm going to utilize that. So first thing I have to do is I have to paste the entire configurations. So obviously I'm going to blur this my credential, because this is my private key and secret key, and you have to get your own private key and secret key. So you have to create a project ID, project secret key, you have to create your authentications, and you have to create your own subdomain, and this is how you have to create your client. So this is the setup you have to do. Only then you can able to upload the image and create image like to IPFS. Okay, and I have explained every single thing about that, how you can generate in this video. So this is the video which you have to follow. NFT, like fix NFT marketplace. In that I have explained that how you can create your own IPFS Infura link. So let me play this one. So just a moment, this ad is here. So let me, and here in this video I have explained that how you can generate your IPFS key, private key and secret key and subdomain. So make sure to watch this. In this I have told you that how you can generate that. So once you generate, you have to come here and you have to simply paste your project ID, secret key, and you have to create your subdomain. So once you do this configuration, all you have to do is, now you have to utilize your subdomain to upload the data to the IPFS. So let's come here, let's go to the place where we are updating the data to the IPFS. So this is the URL for uploading the data to the IPFS, and here we have to use our subdomain. So let's come here, we have already taken the template literal, so we can simply take the $, and we're going to provide our subdomain, and that's the changes you have to do. This is the changes you have to do. So subdomain, IPFS, and this is the entire data which you are providing, and this will upload the data to the IPFS. So once you do this configuration, let's find out where we are also providing this. So we have to do the changes here as well. So grab this one, and you have to provide the subdomain here as well. All the places where you are using this global endpoint you have to replace with your subdomain, and the rest would be fine. Let's find out other. So here we have to do the changes. Let's make the changes. So this is the subdomain we have. Now let's go to other places, and what else we have here. And here we have to do the changes in the IPFS. This is the one we have to do the changes. This is the get new candidate, and that's it. So make sure you have to do all of these changes. You have to do all of these changes in set candidate. We have the give vote, we have the get all voters. So you have to do all of these changes. Once you're done with that, so once you provide your credential, all the data which I have tell you that you have to replace with your, and obviously I will give you this code. All you have to do is to replace with your credential and it will work fine. So once you do with this configuration, all you have to do is come here, click on this, go back to the like next.js config file, and here you have to configure the domain, your subdomain file, and simply replace this one, paste your endpoint, and that will fix the issue. Okay, so hope this entire thing makes sense to all of you guys, and now everything would be fine. So I'll simply close this one. Everything's looking fine to me. Now come back to the browser. So this is where we were working on. So right now you can see that we were getting an error message, and let's try once more time. So let's click on this connect. We are connected with the applications. Now we're going to select the image, and this time we're going to select this one, and just wait, it will work. And here you can see we have successfully uploaded the data to the IPFS. We have no error in that. So you have to get your credential, okay, because right now you cannot use the free version of Invera. You have to get your own, and you can see this is the URL we got back. If you grab the URL, and if you come here, click and paste here, you will find the images we have uploaded to the IPFS, and this is the domain of our domain on our subdomain. So that looks fine to me. Now let me make this big. I'll provide the name. I'll say Hossein, and here I have to provide the address of the candidate. So I'll simply come here, and I'm going to be the candidate. So I'll select this one, and I will select register myself. So I'll click on this. Age is optional, or no, it's not an option, you have to provide. So let's say 24, and click on authorize. So here we have the MetaMask. We are interacting with the smart contracts send candidate, and we're going to click confirm. So the transaction went through, and if you reload the browser, here you will find that the candidate we have created. And the reason you can see that it's rendering twice, because we are in development mode. So once you will go in the production mode, it will display only once, but as we are in the development mode, that's why we are rendering this twice. So you can see we have registered one candidate. Now let's register a voter. So click on this voter, and we have to, right now we haven't registered any voter, so let's register a voter. Click on this voter registration and reload the browser. So that looks fine. Now I will come here, I'll go to this, I'll pick this address. This is the account number 3 is the voter, and only account owner has the authority to register any voter or candidate. So that's why we are switching to account 2. Now I'll say, let's say voter, provide the address, and let's type let's say 23. Okay, and let's me get the image. So this time we're going to get the image for this, the blockchain coder. And if you haven't gone through the websites, so make sure to go and check. We have a lot of cool things, cool project there. And now click on this authorize voter, and it will open the MetaMask, and you have to make the transaction. So let's click on this confirm, and the transaction went through. Reload the browser, and here you can see it's looking fine. We have created one voter, and this voter is not given vote, so that's why you can see that not voted. So everything's working fine. So right now you can see that the moment we are creating voter, the moment we are registering candidate, we have to reload the browser. Or you can do one thing, you can simply add a reload function inside a contract. So we have to reload the browser. So what we can do is, that's a pretty simple fix. Find out where we are creating. This is the place where we are creating the voter. So the moment we make the transaction, you can do one thing, we are pushing to the voter list page. You can do one thing, you can simply reload the browser. Here you can type location.reload, and that will reload, and you will have the data. So that's how you can fix that issue. Okay, so everything's working fine. Now let's come here, and now let's give vote to our candidate. So this is the voter registration, voter list. Let's go to the home, reload the browser. You can add that reload functionality, and let's give vote to this user. So we are in the account number 2, so we cannot give vote to ourselves, so we have to switch back to the voter account. So this is the account number 3, and make sure to have to refresh the account, otherwise you will get an error. So reset the account and reload the browser. So everything's looking fine. Now click on this give vote, and here you have the MetaMask pop-up, and here you have to simply do click on confirm. So once you click on the confirm, this transaction will take a little bit time. You can see right now it's not displaying, but you can come here and you can see the console log. Right now we have this empty data, but the moment you will reload, you will see that we have successfully given the vote to this candidate. You can see the vote is won. So sometime it will take time, so you can add a loader. Once the transaction get completed on the blockchains, then it will reflect. Okay, so if I come back to the project and let's see where we are giving the vote. So if I come here, give vote, so here what we are doing, here we can do the one simple thing. So here we are calling the function and we are giving the vote. So we can do this. We'll say voter, what is the function name we have given? So let's call this voter list dot, because this is the place where we are making the transaction. We'll say await. So this will, what this will do, it will wait till the voting is getting confirmed on the blockchain. Okay, so this is the configuration you have to do. Okay, so now I believe that you guys have understood that how you can fix this issue. All you have to do is come back here and you have to get your own credentials, because right now you cannot use the free version of Infura. It's very easy to get your credential. Okay, you have to get your project ID, secret key, and the subdomain, and that would be working fine. And you have to do the configuration in your Next.js config file if you want to display the image of different domain, because this is the configuration you have to do, because the image is coming from this location and you are running your port on 3000. So that's the two different resource. So this is the configuration you have to do. Okay, so this is the exact code I'm going to provide you. So let me quickly change that. So these are the credential you have to provide. Make sure you have to get your project ID, secret key, and the subdomain, and do all the configuration which I showed you, and everything would be fine. Okay, so let me upload this code to GitHub so you guys can get it. So what I will do here, I'll come here, and this is the code which I'm going to provide. So let me do one thing. I'm going to give you the code in the same file. So what I will do, this is the configuration I have done. So in the voter context, so I'll simply take this one. I'll take this entire code, and that's the code I'm going to simply update. There's no point of deploying the entire project once again. So I'll come back to the GitHub, and this is the context we have. Click on the context. Here we have open the context, go to the voter.js, and here we have the entire code. You can see this is the old code we have, the global endpoints, and now I will simply click on this edit, and I will simply scroll all the way here, and I'm going to simply paste the code, and I'm going to simply comment this out. Okay, so make sure to get all of these things, and you have to simply do the changes here as well. So let's me do one thing. Let me do it for all of you guys. So what I will do, I'll simply get the subdomain, and that's the configuration you have to do. So let's come here. So this is the Infura endpoint, so I'll select this one, select the dollar, and in that you have to simply pass that subdomain. Okay, and this is the configuration you have to do in all the places where you are updating the Infura. So simply grab that one and do the changes here as well. Do the changes. We have to do the changes here. So that looks fine. Now where else we have to do the changes? So there is no need to do the changes here, and here we have to do the changes because here we are updating the data. Do the changes, and that's it. So we'll say update, click on commit, and you will find. So once you copy this ID, all you have to do is to do the changes here, and it will work fine. And the one more changes you have to do in the config file. So what I will do, I'll come back to the voter.js, and I'll go back to the Next.js config file, and here you have to type your own IPC URL, subdomain, sorry, I'll say your domain, and that's the only changes you have to do. Okay, so hope this entire thing makes sense to all of you guys, and now you know how to fix this issue which you guys are facing, and that's the only thing you want to do. Okay, so if you really like this, make sure to give a star to this repo, and that would be really helpful for me. And with that, I'm ending this video, and today morning I uploaded a project that called crowdfunding marketplace. So let's build the project. You guys will learn a lot of cool things. You will understand that how you can model the data structure and how you can build a smart contract which can handle the marketplace features where allow other users to create campaign. Okay, so that's the only thing I want to talk about in this video. Hope you guys have liked it. If you still have any confusion and doubt, do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely try to help in that. Have a wonderful day.